If you feel stuck right now, like you know what to do, but you can't get yourself to do it, listen. In the next 20 minutes, you're not just getting Tony Robbins' mindset. You're getting a simple follow-through plan you can use today. A way to stop negotiating with yourself, restart momentum fast, and set up your day so action becomes easier. This isn't motivation, it's a pattern break. Tony Robbins explains exactly why you feel stuck and how to flip it fast. Here's Tony.
The only absolute certainty is faith. You know, it's like, how do you drive down a street with nothing but a yellow line separating you from crazies driving at you at 65 miles an hour, and every single day in every country in the world, in every city in the world, someone will cross that line and kill someone because they were drunk, because they fell asleep, because they're texting. And yet, how do you get out there every day without fear and do it? You use a gift that God gave us. It's called faith. It's not what you learned faith. I'm not talking about a religion. I'm talking the capacity to see beyond the present moment and have a sense of certainty, right? And so why do you do it? Because the alternative is to live at home and do nothing. Go back to the COVID days and be trapped, right? We know what that did to people psychologically and emotionally because they felt completely at the effect of things. So the fastest way to change your life is start making some real decisions. And I know it's hard initially. The other part is it's just that the more you make decisions, the more decision-making muscles you get. You know what I mean? It's like, well, some people have weak decision-making muscles. You ever been to a dinner with somebody or a group of people and there's always one person that's hanging on to the last moment, still can't decide. You see the waiter or waitress trying to be nice. You can see them kind of losing their patience. My wife's nightmare. Right? It's like, just freaking decide. Help this lady out, right? And they finally decide. Well, that's the habit of a lot of people. And they can't make a decision what to eat for dinner tonight. Yeah. How are they gonna make a life decision, right? So the first step is to make maybe make some small ones that you can do and get some momentum. But the more decisions you make, the faster it gets. I think the whole idea that I have to make the right decision is the wrong way to look at it. My whole view has been not deciding is the worst decision, right? Mm-hmm. I need to consciously decide if I don't want to feel like things are affecting me. If I'm going to shape my world, I make a decision. And if I'm wrong, I'll find out quicker. I'll give you a real life example. I don't know if you remember General Schwarzkopf. I got to know him pretty well. He ran the Allied forces, and he was a brilliant guy. And he was very powerful. He could talk to guys that were from the barrio, and he could talk to guys from Princeton incredibly well, and a really lovely human being. But I asked him what the most important skill was of a leader, and he said decision-making, which I agreed with, obviously. And I said, well, what do you think he's doing making decisions? And he said, I'll tell you a story. So he told me the story. I'll tell you the short version of it briefly. When he was a private, he represented a general. And the Pentagon had worked for almost, I think he said, more than a decade and a half analyzing this strategic decision they had to make. And there were people on both sides, and they argued it on both sides fully, so strongly that no one made a decision for over 10 years. And they knew they had to make the decision. If they didn't make it now, it could cost the country our security. It's a big decision. And so he, being the private, organized the team that had to read all these volumes of material so they could summarize it so the general would have the information. And he said, then the meeting got pushed up. And even with a group of 8 people, they could not gather all the information and fully summarize it. Meanwhile, the general was called overseas during this time when he should have been prepping. It wasn't his fault, but he had to deal with it. Flew back. The night before, they're loading up with all this information. He didn't get back till 10 o'clock at night. The meeting was 8 in the morning, right? Most important decision in the Pentagon's history was how it was framed. He said he came in the meeting. He said, give me your arguments. One person stood up for 20 minutes and gave this full-blown argument. This is the direction to go. All right, give me your argument. 20 minutes, full blast, their argument. He said, okay, do this. And he all saluted, and he walked out of the room. And he said, Schwarzkopf said, he was a private, not a general, right, at that time, right? He said, I don't know what the hell to do. He couldn't possibly know all this information. He couldn't possibly know what to do in this situation. And he was totally stressed by it. And so he worked up enough courage to knock on the general's door and said, General, permission to speak freely. He said, at ease. He goes, General, I've worked on this for 4 weeks with 8 people. I said, you weren't even here last night. This is one of the most important decisions ever. I know you didn't have all the information. How could you possibly make that decision? He said, young man, because the decision needed to be made. And he said, and both sides are equally strong. So I picked the one I believe is right. If I'm wrong, we'll find out quicker. It won't take 10 years to find out. And if I'm right, we'll continue. If I'm wrong, we'll make a shift. And he said it just was outside of his world. It was so simple. And then he told me one other one that I thought was really good. He said he was leaving one time and he left him as a private in charge of things. He said, you're in charge, you make these decisions, you do these things. I said, General, I don't know, how do I know what to do? He said, Rule 13. He goes, Rule 13, sir. And he's starting to go out the door. He says, what's Rule 13? I couldn't figure out what Rule 13 was. When put in command, take charge. He goes, okay. And he goes, but how do I make the right decision? He goes, Rule 14. He goes, Rule 14, sir? What's Rule 14? Do what's right. Right? And those simple approaches, I think, can guide us. And I really believe decision-making is the most important thing. So if you don't like your body, change it. If you like your relationship, change it. Maybe change you first, otherwise you'll trade people and have the same problems, right? You don't like your career, change it. But for things to get better, we got to get better. For things to change, my teacher, Jim Rohn, said, you got to change, right? But it all begins with a decision. So maybe start with small decisions, or maybe attack a big one. Because when you do, you get momentum.
Pause for a second. Because if you are still here after that clip, you are not watching for entertainment. You are watching because something in your life is not moving the way you want it to move. Most people define stuck like this. I am stuck because I do not have discipline. I am stuck because I keep procrastinating. I am stuck because I cannot focus. But that definition creates shame, and shame makes you hide. When you hide, you avoid. When you avoid, you stay stuck. So here is a cleaner definition. Stuck is a pattern where you choose short-term relief over long-term self-respect. That is the loop. It is not about intelligence. It is not about talent. It is not about potential. It is about what you do when discomfort shows up. Discomfort is normal. Discomfort is the entry fee for anything that matters. The discomfort of starting. The discomfort of being seen. The discomfort of failing publicly. The discomfort of not knowing. The discomfort of effort. The discomfort of changing your identity. When discomfort hits, your brain tries to protect you. Not because you are weak, but because your brain is designed to reduce pain now. So it offers you a trade. It says, avoid this and you will feel better for a moment. And in that moment, it is convincing. So you scroll, you snack, you clean, you overplan. You watch more content about the thing instead of doing the thing. You tell yourself you are getting ready. You tell yourself you are waiting for the right time. You tell yourself you will do it tomorrow. And for a moment, you feel relief. But later, the cost arrives. The cost is regret, then self-talk, then identity. It starts as, I did not do it today. Then it becomes, I never do it. Then it becomes, I am not the kind of person who does it. That is why Tony said stuck is not who you are. It is a state. And states are changeable. You can be in a low state at noon and a high state by 1 o'clock if you know what to do. So, what are we actually changing? We are changing 3 things. First, your state. Your energy, your physiology, your focus, your emotional intensity. Second, your standards. What you do even when you do not feel like it. Third, your story. The meaning you attach to your situation. Most people try to think their way out first. They sit in a low state and try to brainstorm confidence. That almost never works. Because when your state is low, your thinking is low. Your brain will generate reasons to quit, not reasons to win. So the first move is not, how do I feel motivated? The first move is, how do I interrupt the loop? And here is the most important part of this chapter. Stuck is often protection. It is your nervous system trying to keep you safe from something. Safe from failure. Safe from judgment. Safe from disappointment. Safe from confirming your worst fear about yourself. So if you beat yourself up, you add more threat. More threat makes your system lock up more. You become even more avoidant. That is why shame does not create discipline. Shame creates hiding. Instead, treat stuck like a pattern you can replace. Because that is what it is. You practiced avoidance. You practiced distraction. You practiced quitting early. And practice can be redirected. So from this point forward, you stop asking, what is wrong with me? And you start asking, what pattern am I running and what would interrupt it right now? In the next chapter, I will show you the interruption. Not as a motivational speech, but as a repeatable method that works when you are tired, when you are stressed, and when you do not feel like it. If you want to stop being stuck, you need leverage. Leverage is the force that makes action happen even when you do not feel like it. Most people try to use willpower. Willpower is fragile. It disappears when you are hungry, tired, stressed, or distracted. Leverage is stronger than willpower. There are two kinds of leverage that matter. The first is pain leverage. You must see the real cost of staying stuck, not a vague cost, a specific cost. Ask yourself this: if I keep living like this for the next 6 months, what will it cost me? What will it cost my confidence? What will it cost my relationships? What will it cost my finances? What will it cost my health? What will it cost my self-respect? Do not answer lightly, because stuck is expensive. It steals time. It steals momentum. It steals belief. It teaches you that your word does not matter. And when your word does not matter to you, you become smaller inside. The second is pleasure leverage. You must connect action to something that feels meaningful now, not someday. Now, ask this: if I start moving today, what becomes possible in 6 months? How would I feel if I respected myself again? How would I show up differently if I trusted myself again? Now, here is the key. Leverage alone is not enough. You also need a state shift. Because you can have leverage and still freeze if your nervous system is overwhelmed. That is why state comes first. Your body drives your mind. If your posture is collapsed, your breathing is shallow, and your attention is scattered, you will feel heavy. That heaviness will be interpreted as, "I cannot do it." But it is not truth. It is state. So you change state on purpose. Stand up, shoulders back, breathe deeper, move your body for 1 minute. Walk, shake out tension, speak with more intensity. The point is not to perform. The point is to signal to your nervous system that you are not trapped. Then you reduce the task, because overwhelm is the cousin of stuck. Overwhelm makes you aim for perfect, and perfect makes you avoid. So we do not aim for perfect. We aim for the next small true step. A true step is not researching for 2 hours. A true step is opening the document, writing the first messy paragraph, recording the first take, putting shoes on, sending the message, taking the uncomfortable action that creates progress. This is the formula. Change state. Create leverage. Take the first true step. Notice how different this is from the old approach. The old approach was, sit still, think harder, wait for motivation. That keeps you in the same loop. Now I want to address a trap. The trap is negotiation. Negotiation sounds innocent, but it is deadly. It is the voice that says, maybe later. It is the voice that says, after I feel better. It is the voice that says, after I get clarity. It is the voice that says, tomorrow. Every time you negotiate, you reinforce the identity of someone who does not follow through. Your brain learns, if we feel discomfort, we can escape. That becomes your default. So we replace negotiation with standards. Standards are not feelings. Standards are rules. A rule might be, when I feel resistance, I start for 10 minutes anyway. A rule might be, I do not scroll until I complete my first task. A rule might be, I keep promises to myself even when nobody is watching. Standards turn chaos into structure. Standards remove daily debate. If you remove debate, you remove friction. If you remove friction, action becomes more likely. Here is what I want you to understand. Being stuck is not a character flaw. It is a system problem. You have a system that currently rewards avoidance and punishes effort. We are going to reverse that system. We are going to reward effort, even if it is small. We are going to make avoidance painful by making its cost visible. We are going to make action easier by adjusting your environment. That is how change becomes stable. In the next chapter, I am going to show you how to build momentum that lasts, not just for one day, but as a new identity. Momentum is not a personality trait. Momentum is a sequence. It is built, and the sequence is simple. First, you act, then you create proof. Then your brain updates who you are. Then acting becomes easier. Then you repeat. Most people wait for confidence before they act, but confidence is a reward. It comes after proof. Proof is what your brain believes. Proof is what makes you trust yourself. So we are going to design proof on purpose. Proof must be small enough to do on a bad day, but real enough to matter. If it is too big, you will avoid it. If it is too small and meaningless, it will not change identity. It must be small and meaningful. Think of it like this. If you are stuck, your relationship with yourself is damaged. You do not trust your word. The only way to repair that relationship is to keep small promises consistently. Not huge promises, small promises kept daily. This is why the 10-minute start is so powerful. 10 minutes is small enough to do even when you are tired. But it is real enough to tell your brain, I start, I move, I follow through. Now we need to protect momentum from the 3 common killers. Killer 1 is perfection. Perfection creates delay. Delay creates guilt. Guilt creates avoidance. So we replace perfection with reps. Your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is to do reps. 1 rep today, another rep tomorrow. This is how skill and confidence are built. Killer 2 is scattered focus. When you are stuck, you often try to fix everything at once. You make a list of 10 changes. That list becomes overwhelming. Then you do none of them. So we choose 1 target, 1 area, 1 next step. For the next 7 days, your win is consistency in 1 lane. Killer 3 is a hostile environment. If your environment is built for distraction, you will be distracted. If your environment is built for comfort, you will choose comfort. This is not weakness, it is design. So we design the environment to support the identity you want. If you want to be someone who creates, make creation the default. Leave the document open. Put your tools in reach. Reduce the steps between you and action. If you want to be someone who trains, set up your space so training is easy. Put clothes out. Put shoes by the door. Make the first step automatic. If you want to be someone who studies, create a clean zone. Remove your phone. Set a timer. Make the start simple. Now let us talk identity, because identity is what makes momentum permanent. Identity is not what you say. Identity is what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly avoid, your identity becomes, I avoid. If you repeatedly start, your identity becomes, I start. If you repeatedly keep promises, your identity becomes, I follow through. So we are going to stop using labels that trap you. Do not say, I am lazy. Say, I have practiced avoidance. Do not say, I cannot focus. Say, my environment is distracting. Do not say, I am undisciplined. Say, I have not built a system yet. This language matters because it keeps you in possibility. If you think you are broken, you quit. If you think you are untrained, you practice. Now here is the emotional truth. A lot of people stay stuck because they are afraid to disappoint themselves again. They are afraid to try and fail, so they stop trying. But not trying is a guaranteed failure. So we choose a new path. We choose controlled wins, wins that rebuild trust, wins that create proof, wins that make action feel safe again. In the final chapter, I will give you 3 steps you can take today. Not theory, not inspiration, 3 concrete moves that turn this video into momentum. Now we make this real. If you watch this and do nothing, your brain will file it under entertainment. But if you take action today, even small action, your brain will file it under identity change. That is what we want. Here are 3 steps. Do them in order. Keep them simple. Do not overthink them. Step 1. Write your standard. Open a notes app or grab paper. Write 1 sentence that upgrades your behavior. The format is simple. I do not do blank anymore. I do blank now. Make it personal. Make it tied to the pattern that keeps you stuck. If you procrastinate, your standard might be, I do not negotiate with procrastination anymore. I start for 10 minutes now. If you overthink, your standard might be, I do not overplan anymore. I take the first true step now. If you quit when it gets hard, your standard might be, I do not disappear when discomfort shows up. I stay in it now. This standard is not a slogan, it is a rule, and rules remove debate. When debate disappears, action becomes easier. Step 2. Do the 10-minute start. Pick 1 area where you feel stuck. 1, not 5. Now choose the first true step. The first true step is the smallest action that creates real progress. It is usually the step you avoid because it exposes you. Examples. If you are stuck in fitness, the first true step is putting on shoes and moving your body. Walk outside. Do a basic routine, 10 minutes. If you are stuck in studying, the first true step is opening the work and writing the first lines. 10 minutes. If you are stuck in business or career, the first true step might be sending the message, making the call, submitting the application, building the draft. 10 minutes. If you are stuck in content creation, the first true step might be writing one hook and recording one take. 10 minutes. Set a timer for 10 minutes and start. When the timer ends, you can stop if you want. But the real win is not finishing. The win is proving to your brain that you start. Starting is the opposite of stuck. Step 3. Adjust your environment to protect tomorrow. If you rely on motivation tomorrow, you might lose. So we make tomorrow easier today. Remove one friction point. Put your phone in another room during your work block. Delete the app that steals your time. Clean one surface and make it your start zone. Lay out your clothes. Open the document and leave it ready. Reduce the steps between you and action. Then add one trigger. Set a calendar alarm that says 10-minute start. Place a sticky note where you cannot ignore it. Create a short ritual. Drink water. 2 deep breaths. Start the timer. The trigger is your cue. The cue turns action into a habit. Now I want you to understand why these 3 steps work. The standard removes negotiation. The 10-minute start creates proof. The environment makes repeating easier. That combination creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates consistency. And consistency changes your identity. So here is your close. Do not chase a new personality. Install a new pattern. If you feel stuck, you are not broken. You are trained in the wrong direction. Training can change. Write the standard. Do the 10-minute start. Fix the environment. Then repeat tomorrow. If you want to lock it in, comment your standard in 1 sentence and the one thing you are starting today. Not the whole plan, just the start. Start small, start today, and you will not be stuck much longer.